evening, everyone. Welcome back to Let's Talk with Casey and Mike. Just to let you guys know, we are doing a part two of creating boundaries and saying no. We had some feedback, and some of the people who watch the show wanted us to expound on it. So that's what we'll be talking about today. We appreciate all of those who are looking at who's looking at it and getting in the discussion with us. And again, please know that we are still trying to go live. There are some things that we're working on, but we're going to be there. But for right now, we're still recording. And please, if you have any questions or comments, please send us an email at let's talk gmail.com. Again, we love you guys and we appreciate you. If we offend anyone, I mean, that's just, everybody has different opinions. We're not out trying to cause any drama or any kind of controversy. We're just kind of talking, and we're all different people. We all have different views on things, and so that's just kind of how it is. If I was to have the exact same uh, feeling or opinion as everyone out there, then we're all just robots. We need to be able to sit and talk and discuss, even if opinions are different. And so it is imperative that we're able to talk, because we have some talks that are coming up in the coming weeks that are going to get interesting. We're going to talk about how we were raised in church and things of that nature. But I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. But we want to make sure that you guys are honest with us when you send everything. So with that, Mr. Jones, you can go ahead and
Well, good evening, everybody. I don't have to follow up with what Mike said. It's just us again. Let's talk with Casey and Mike. We're going to dive right in. I think we'd like to give a big thanks to Dr. Khalil Osborne from last week. It was a great discussion. Thank you again, Dr. Osborne, for dropping by. And those who missed that one, just look him up, Osborne Orthodontics in Jacksonville, Florida. One of the best to do it. So now we're moving on to this week, and this is part two. Part two of creating boundaries and saying no. I think we dove into a lot of the no, but I think we kind of left some things to be conversed about, considering boundaries, and those boundaries are very important. Those boundaries are very important as far as who you're setting boundaries for, what role they play in your life, and how you go about setting the boundaries. So, first and foremost, what does the boundaries look like to us? What do the boundaries look like to us?
Okay. We're asking me a question.
Yeah.
All right. So boundaries can be a very tricky discussion, because sometimes as married couples, you get married and you get married, you have your honeymoon, and then you have to figure out, hey, what are your sexual boundaries? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And so you have to talk about those things. And of course, I went to sexual boundaries. I mean, I have a wife and whatever. But that's the first thing that I was thinking about. And so I'm smiling because I don't want to get in no trouble. So sexual boundaries, you have some people to say, okay, so missionary is all I do, and that's it, and we're done. And so I might say, nah, missionary sex is, I want more than that. But if it makes you feel uncomfortable, then that might be a boundary for your spouse. And so those are things that you have to talk about, and you have to have real conversations. Don't have the conversation when you're ready to go into bed and say, hey, let's do this. And he or she might be like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So I can see the look on your face. You're like, oh, cuz, no, you didn't. I'm sorry. But but what I'm saying is, there are some people based on religious beliefs, they might say, hey, oral sex is not something that I want to do. They might say, the woman on top is not something I want to do. The man on top, just all these different things. And those are boundaries that you have to discuss when you're married. And so, and I'll say this, if you are engaged and you're getting married and so on and so forth, for you all should talk about these things. You really, really, really should. Because don't get me wrong, you're going to get older and the sex is going to wane off. You want to talk to each other, but making love with your spouse, your husband or wife, is very important, and it's something that you should discuss, and it's something that you feel free to discuss. There are some people who like, oh no, I don't want to talk about that. And I have relatives and I have people whom I love very much. The moment you start bringing up anything having to do with adult this or that, they shut off. I don't want to talk about it, and they'll leave the room. Well, guess what? This is a real thing, and it's something that should be discussed. But it's probably not discussed as much as it should. And I'll be honest with you. Tanya and I didn't get into conversations really about sex until we had been married for years. And we talk about it now, and we're like, oh, I wish we had talked about it earlier, because the more comfortable you feel with one another, it make things easier. And I'm not talking about any kind of freaky, crazy stuff. I'm just saying there are some things for making love that hey, let's whatever. But you should talk about those things. Now, as I'm talking, I can't wait for Casey to respond, because he's like, oh, he has put me in a corner. So, cuz I'm gonna start right there. You hit it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Discussing all kinds of boundaries with sex in your marriage. This is a great topic. I just didn't know that's where we're going. I just didn't, boom. Yeah, man. It's important. It's important to talk about it, not experiment with it. Yes. Before you get married. It's important to talk about it, discuss those boundaries, because there are things that I think a lot of people don't realize that are out of this world of some sort to some people, but the word of God says that the marital bedroom, and I'm paraphrasing, is undefiled.
Right.
So as long as there is togetherness and agreement, you do. But I think it's you definitely want to have the discussion. Boundaries in marriage with anything, individuality versus closeness. Mm-hmm. Having the boundary of your own hobbies versus, there's some people that just want to be together all the time. And that looks cute and it's cool, but you want to have a time to come back together, mm-hmm. to experience your friends, experience your hobbies. She experiences her friends and her hobbies, and have a time to come back together. When you don't have the little parts of you that were there before you got married, you kind of start to not be who you are.
I agree.
That's just my opinion.
It took me a little while to learn that, because when Tanya and I first got married, not when we first got married. We had been married for a couple of years, and we moved, and Tanya found a whole bunch of friends, and she was gone. They were doing stuff every weekend, and I'm like, what in the world? And I'm like,
what's this?
Yeah, what's this? And so I had a problem with it. And then I learned I could go play some golf or something. I don't need her by me the whole time. And most men would be like, oh, you are a punk. But no, I enjoyed her company. I'm like, well, why you got to be all over? But then I learned, then I started saying, you should go out with your friends. Y'all should go do some stuff. Because, again, things I'm going through, I had to learn how to say, you know what? I can go and I can go do some things. And then it began to balance out. It began to balance out where, we can do things together, but you go and do stuff with your friends, and I'm going to go and do stuff with, I don't really have a lot of friends, but I'm going to go play golf. I'm going to go hit some golf balls. I'm going to go do things that I want to do. And it actually, I know it's going to sound crazy, it made us closer.
It's refreshing. That's why I say there's a time for you to reconnect,
Yep.
to come back together.
Yep.
Because let's be truthful, married couples, you can get on each other's nerve when you're around each other too much.
Absolutely.
You
That
can get on each other's nerve. There's an aspect of missing the other person that's healthy. And I don't think you were wrong in your expectation, because, and I don't like to throw around scriptures and act like, I know all of what thus saith the Lord. But there's a scripture in the Bible that speaks about your first year of marriage being dedicated to one another, aside all other responsibilities, all other people, where it's just where you all unite and just be able to bond and make that the strongest bond that you are, quote unquote, ever supposed to have, other than Jesus Christ. So I don't think you were wrong with that expectation. It's just that's probably something that nobody thinks to talk about. Okay, when we get married, we're not just gonna be close on the honeymoon. We're gonna spend 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. There are some people where their families are so close, and she wants to be with her sisters, and you want to be with your brothers, and a lot of times that's damaging if that bond isn't created.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people that early in their marriage they were going on separate trips around the world, and it's like that's a little dangerous. Early in your marriage, that's a little dangerous. If you're going with other couples, cool. But you're in Europe, she's in Africa on 2 separate trips for certain periods of time. Like, that's dangerous to the bond building of a marriage. But yeah, I think it's certainly important to set those boundaries within the marriage and within the family dynamic, whether that be parents, siblings, children, setting those boundaries. I remember telling you when I got married, it was at my reception where I told my whole family, what happens from that day forward is that she comes first, no matter what. And people tend to feel like they still have the same place. When you was young Mike, little Mike, going doing this, going help with that, going doing this, things change.
That's right.
Things change. Still call on me, still depend on me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still gonna to honor my word, but it just can't be as frequent where it was every day before.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's let me see. I give you 4 hours on Friday. I can come take care of all the little things that you need to do. I can come over there and help you, bro. I can help you, sis. I can help you, auntie. I can help you, unc. I can, and just as long as you're keeping those boundaries, and thankfully, and hopefully and prayerfully, people have that bond within their marriage where family calling on you isn't a barrier, because you've had those communications, you've had those discussions, and there's an understanding. Just like sex, right into that one.
I want to apologize.
No, I was gonna let you like, woo, whoa.
I should have warned you about that, and I was thinking, I apologize to Jessica.
You didn't tell me that one.
So next time I'm gonna give you a fair warning.
No,
start talking.
It's fine. It's organic. I like it. Okay. I like it. But you saw how I just
you didn't say nothing. I was like, all right, so I can't go this all by myself.
No, you jumped out. Hey, you jumped in that deep side of the water. I'm gonna see you swim.
Oh, girl. Ty, you gonna get me for that. Okay, but back on that a little bit. So when we're talking about boundaries in the bedroom, I don't want no foolishness talking about, well, if we both agree we can bring somebody else in the bedroom. That's foolishness.
No,
that kind of stuff. So that kind of stuff. So I've heard foolishness said where if she okay with it and I'm okay with it, just no. And I've known people who, I don't know, they're not swingers or whatever, who bring people into the bedroom. It's like that is the most. You talking about boundaries. That shouldn't even be a consideration. Now you can talk about things, but to me, that's not even something that because when you bring someone into the marriage and you that's just no. That's just no. And that's a major one. There are other little things that people talk about sexually and things of that nature, but bringing someone else into your marital home and again, if you want to go to the Bible, that is not.
Yeah, that's a transfer of spirits, and that's just right.
That's right. Oh, and it was done in the Bible, by the way. This stuff is talked about in the Bible. Boy, I'm going to take a side note here, guys. If you sit and you read the Bible and you really get into it, and there's some stuff in there that is actually discussed that will. It's like, oh, I didn't know that was in the Bible. It is. And God gives you instructions on what not to do, because it's not like anything that's going on today is new. None of this stuff is new. None of this, none of the sins that are going on is new. It's
none of it.
And it was evil then and it's evil now. And don't get me wrong, we all make mistakes and we all sin. You know, you might say something or do something, whatever. But those type things, nothing is new. Nothing is new. So don't think that, oh, you know what, there's this crazy thing. No, God dealt with that thing thousands of years ago. So don't go thinking that. So read your word and get involved in it, and you'll be able to see that there are real lessons. It's not just someone preaching to you and saying whatever, screaming. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about sit and read, and there's always information, and there's people out there who's smarter than you that can explain things to you, who are deeper in the Bible, because I am not a Bible scholar. When I read, and we're talking about boundaries, and I'm gonna get back to it. When I read, get into it, it is like, oh man, so this is speaking to that, and this is speaking to this, and these are the things that we should be doing as Christian men, and this is how you should lead, and this is how you should treat your wife, and this is how you should treat your children. I think we don't think that the word contains that, but it does, but it takes time to get into it and read, because it's in there. It's in there. It doesn't just talk about Moses taking the people out. It doesn't talk about Abraham, and it does talk about those things, but there are many, many lessons in there that can guide us. Okay, I'm done talking about that. Go ahead, Bill.
Good subject, man. That was good subject matter, because that's another discussion of boundaries. When you get in a relationship, boundaries, like we talked about it before, red flags and all that. If the religion doesn't line up, boundaries within those relationships, and do those relationships line up with Scripture? Do those relationships line up with Scripture? You know, we have a lot of things that we don't put boundaries on, that causes our lives to suffer, that causes our mental health to suffer. You know, we have to put boundaries on most things in our lives.
Absolutely.
I mean, you really think about it. There's a boundary in everything that we have.
Yep. Yeah.
There's something you cannot cross. A boundary is like a survey for property. This is my property. You cannot legally cross my property and do anything here without me agreeing to allow you to do it.
That's right. That's right. And when you say everything has boundaries, everything has boundaries. There are some things that, well, what are you talking about? There are some things that are good. Like I love spending time with my family. If you spend too much time with your family and not enough time with your wife and your kids, that's crossing the boundary. Well, what about money? It pays bills. Well, if you spend your money going to places that you shouldn't go and doing things that you shouldn't do, there needs to be boundaries put on it, because there is such thing as too much of a good thing, because it's not a good thing anymore. Because if I love to eat, I want to eat anything that I want. Okay, well, you might have diabetes or you might have high whatever, and you been doing because you have to put boundaries on on
Everything,
on everything.
everything, everything.
That's
What do
right.
people tell you all the time? Drink water, drink water, drink water, drink water. But there is a certain thing called
That's right.
water intoxication.
That's
Like
right.
you can drink too much water
Hmm.
if you don't set a boundary. There's a health boundary, there's an emotional boundary, there's a
Right.
spiritual boundary. You cannot partake of so many things that aren't good for you and expect for the little things that are good for you to balance out
That's right.
these things in your life. It's
That's right.
just you can't do it.
That's
You
right.
can't do it.
That's right. That is exactly right. I play with Tanya, my wife. Like she go by, I hit on the bottom, or I do something, and sometimes I play too much. It's like, dude, just stop, just stop. Because me and my brother, yeah, what's up?
Are you telling yourself to stop and she's saying stop?
Oh, no. She used to, yeah, she used to stop, and it's one of those things. So this is my daughter used to do this. My daughter used to do this. She used to say, she used to talk. Mama, am I talking too much? Like, yeah, baby, you talking too much. And when I'm playing around and doing things, I'm like, baby, am I doing too much? She was like,
Yeah.
Yeah. She used to say, stop. I'm like, you
Yeah.
don't mean that. Yes, she did. And I have to control, and I have to say, you know what? Enough is enough sometimes. I mean, enough is enough sometimes. And so you just need to chill and be whatever and so on and so forth. So I had to set a boundary because being silly all the time is annoying. I annoy
It really is.
myself when there are certain times I'm like, my good, and I'll tell her, I'm like, you know what? I just need to chill and stop. She was like, no, you don't have to stop. You can pull back a little bit. That means I need to stop sometime. So I need to
So
set a boundary.
that's that individuality and
Yes.
closeness boundary. It's like, okay, we probably been together too long today
Yeah.
because
So,
you aggravate
yeah. I
me.
need to go to the gym because I need to
There
go
you
to the
go.
gym.
There
I
you
need, I
go.
need to go do something because, and it's like I can feel it. It's like, you know what? Yeah, I need to stop. And you
Yeah,
have to be aware of those things. And I
you
know,
have
don't
to.
get me wrong, sometimes I know it and I still keep doing it. But I've learned a lot where it's like just stop. Just stop, it's okay. So yeah.
I mean, it all starts with the communication of
Yep.
the boundary. If the boundary is not communicated, we never know that we're crossing it.
That's right.
Because
That's right.
some people just aren't comfortable with saying stop, that's enough, or
Yeah.
they don't want you to feel put out. So, they just kind of let you continue. And it's like there's a clear and respectful way to establish a boundary. But once it's crossed, the consistency has to be the standard. Like we could do a lot of stuff, but like, all right, now you can't cross that boundary.
Right.
My
Right.
my
Right.
my thing with me, I guess it's a space boundary. Is we good as long as you don't touch it. Just don't like we can be playful and all of that, but don't touch me because that's my physical space. I ain't talking about my wife or kids or grandkids,
Right.
this and that
Right.
and the
Right.
other,
I understand.
but it's certain boundaries. There are
Mm-hmm.
certain boundaries. I remember being out one night and this guy was totally drunk. He's totally drunk. We were with some co-workers and the guy was drunk and we were letting him, say all what he wanted to say. And it happened multiple times, not just with some co-workers, but this particular evening, he got a little too comfortable and he was saying something and I guess I didn't respond to him quick enough because I was in another conversation. He's like, hey, I'm talking to you. Okay, now we finna have a problem.
Yeah.
Now we cool. Be drunk. Have your fun. I hope somebody has your keys. I hope somebody knows to come get you. But let's not do that.
Yeah.
That's and
Yeah.
those things have
Yeah.
to be established. And he didn't do it anymore after that.
Right. Right. Right.
He realized that okay, he's serious about not touching him. But had I let him keep doing that, like that would have got to a point where now I'm angry. I'm gonna get angry, and I don't want you to, stop.
Right.
Stop. And that's what we don't want. You don't want to have to set a boundary where you have to verbalize it in a rude or demanding way. Like,
Right.
you don't ever want to have to tell your spouse, stop. You know, it's like, whoa.
Yeah, you're right.
Whoa, there's a, you know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
when those boundaries are there with friendships, with the workplace, with family, with loved ones, I mean, you name it, as long as the boundary is established, and we got to speak up. We got to say it. Like, we can't know that there's a line not to cross, and simply because it's either a new relationship or it's a important relationship, it's the job or it's the CEO coming, and you know, we allow certain things. No, this is the standard, this is the boundary, because at the end of the day, we're all people.
That's right.
We're all people. We all have boundaries. There are certain things that you don't want me to do.
Yep.
In certain places that you don't want my hand on. There's certain words that you don't want me saying. So I have boundaries too.
Right.
So those things just have to be communicated.
So
we can go back to your sex boundaries though.
Okay, that was a good one. I'm gonna hold off on that. I have to figure out another way to make you uncomfortable.
All right.
But I'm gonna hold off on that. So what happens when you have a friend, you have a family member who they know they're crossing the boundary? It's like, look, just stop asking me for money. I've given you money 10 times before. Yeah, I know. And they just keep on. You and I know you're gonna say no, but you have those people in your life that just can't stop. They just constantly.
What I've had to find.
No, you can say no, but what happens when that no is, oh, come on, you what'd you do?
I found out that no is a complete sentence.
True.
It's nothing attached to it. I mean, some people in your life, you feel the need to give a little extra. Like we said before in one of the other discussions, you know, if it's anything more than yes or no, now you probably kind of saying something you really like. That part ain't true. I just don't want to hurt his feelings. I don't want to, you know, let him down. I need to let him know that, you know, I got a little something that's important this week. But when you have a person that continuously asking and you've told them no multiple times, you know what's even better than no?
What's that?
Silence. Because this is what has helped me. When somebody's doing that, and when it's always somebody who always calling for money or always just wanting something, and they don't understand that, you know, most of the people that I deal with, they understand what, you know, I really got some things that are going on this week. I can't. But when they won't respect your no, here's the trick. When they call with their important, dire need, don't respond for 2 weeks. Intentionally. Don't respond for 2 weeks.
It works. I mean, there's no way that it can't work.
And then 2 weeks, call them. Hey, I got your message. I got your message a couple of weeks ago. Did you get that situation handled? I guarantee you it's handled. I guarantee you it's handled.
Yeah.
Because when people are so irresponsible that they always need to call you for money, they aren't handling their affairs well, and I'm pretty sure they got a plan B, C, D, and E.
Absolutely.
They got a plan B, C, D, and E. But you know, at a certain time, you have to start to wonder and come to grasp with, like, is this really a friend or are they using me? Like, do we really hang out? Do we really talk? Do we talk about life? Do we talk about goals? Do we talk about family? Or every time we talk, is it about money? If every time you call me, it's about money, but I'm calling you to check on you. I'm calling you
Yeah.
to, hey man, if you think everything good, you know, hey, is you watching the game this week? You know, what you think about my Gators, by the way.
Yeah.
Let it know, baby. By the way, yeah. But you know,
Oh,
not to
but we're not
mention
gonna talk about the Cowboys, right? We're not gonna talk about the Cowboys.
who?
I got you. All right, just making sure.
Okay. All right. We can't talk about that Arch Manning. I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that because he's a kid. He's still a kid, but
He is. He is.
he's a sorry one.
I'm sorry, guys. This isn't part of the conversation. Aren't they coming? Aren't they coming to Gainesville? Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. It's gonna be
Right,
live and loud. It's gonna be live and loud. If he couldn't handle up there in that domain where he was at Saturday, he would have a problem down here in Gainesville with them Gators rock.
You going?
I plan to. I hope to. I may just go ahead and watch it from the house because
you want to watch everything.
I want to see everything when I'm at the game, you know, and especially a big one. And they haven't set the time yet, so it's probably, I don't know. Maybe they may not make that a night game, but the night games get
it gets crazy.
They get all day to drink and build up that. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, let me watch from the house. Let me watch from the house. Yeah. But I got faith we're gonna do it.
Okay.
But anyway, give it 2 weeks and see if they still have a need. Most times they don't, because most times it wasn't a need, you know.
That is true. That I found that to be true for when I've had people and different people, and I've had to ask my parents for things when I was younger and things. But you grow and you learn, and it's like, okay, well, you have to make changes in your life. But speaking to your point, I've had people call and they're like, "Hey, can I have $20 for gas?" I'm like, you 30, you working, and we all fall on hard times. And I understand one, but you called me 3 weeks ago and you say you need $20 for gas again. Stop it. Stop it.
That's how, Mike.
I know you drink. I know you smoke weed. I know you're doing all these things. And you calling me to ask me for $20 for you. I digress.
That's how.
If y'all haven't noticed, Casey and I we ain't no good today, so please forgive us. We love y'all though. Yes, but that drove me crazy.
But this is my question: what they driving with $20 going to help? That don't do nothing to Gainesville, Florida.
Because most times, like you said, plan A, plan B, you're willing to call. I have 6 people that I call if I get 20, because I can't ask them for 40 because you're not my $40 person. You my $20 person. And so next time, and so it goes on and on and on. And slim to none, just like slim to none, they put it on gas. It's something that they want to do. And I'm not saying that's always the case. I'm saying that happens. And I know for a fact that it happens a lot. And it drove me crazy. And so when I hit that point and I just start saying stuff, then I'm hurting people's feelings. And it's like, just do you're an adult. Do stuff you're supposed to do. And you have to sacrifice some things sometimes. You know what? You know, you can't go out to the movies for 2 weeks because you got gas money, or you have to start not doing things that you want to do, because that's part of growing up and being an adult. And so not only now I have to set my boundaries for you, you need to start setting some boundaries for yourself, because we here in the United States are spoiled like nobody's business. There are things that we say are needs that are not needs. And it is deep. It's deep. Things that we say that we do. Okay. These people who call and ask for money, you have $1,000 phone. Okay. Because you can get a phone for $300. You can get one for $400. Your phone is better than. Now I'm on a soapbox. All right, I'm done. So it 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 is. We're so spoiled here, and we say that I need a cell phone. You don't need $1,000 cell phone. You don't need this because you have an iPhone. You have it because they sell phones for $300-$400. Get one of those.
There are three needs: mortgage or rent, utilities, food.
That's it.
Those are your three needs. If you have to call me for $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $900, sell your TV, sell your PlayStation, sell some of them extra items. I ain't trying to go in your house, but why you get to call me for money and you got a TV in every room? And I ain't saying it happened.
Real. It's like that's real.
Those are real things, but it's not. They don't want to be inconvenienced because they need right now. So, like, don't try to help me work out what I need to do. Help me now.
Give me what I want. Just do it.
But you know what? A loving, kind, respectful no will help them. More people need to say no. If more people say no, there won't be so many grandparents raising grandkids.
That's right.
If more people say no, it won't. If more people say no, it won't be so many strained family relationships.
That's
if
right.
If more people say no, there's a boundaries in gossip. Nope. Don't want to hear it. Don't. I've had to shut people down because I don't want to hear, because you're gonna tell me, you're gonna tell them, you're gonna tell everybody, don't say nothing about it. So when one of the other people go tell what you told them not to say, now you looking around, I wonder who said it. Nah, you don't get to look over here.
Yeah.
Finish the story. Yeah. I don't even know what you're talking about. So
you're right. You're right. Because you're right. Because saying no to all those things, to the guy, but it would help the community. But it is so ingrained that I am deserving of things that I can't afford. And so you won't set the boundaries to say, let me live within my the confines of my salary, because I want that thing that's outside of my salary. But like you said, you food, rent, utilities. There are so many things that fall on the outside of that, and our forefathers had to live without. You won't die. You will not die if you don't have a $200 pair of shoes. I promise. I promise you won't. But people feel, and that anxiety that these young adults have, these feelings. Oh no, I'm not. So what I'm saying is, there is a real thing out there, but we have allowed that to become part of the norm, part of the. You know what? You should. Yeah, you deserve this. You deserve. No, you don't. No, you don't.
You're right. You're absolutely right. There are real things, clinical situations. There are mental and psychological situations, but I think we've given so many ways out.
Yeah.
That people attach themselves to them things without it actually being the issue. Now there are real issues. There are real issues, but you can't tell me little Johnny got ADD when he all on the floor in the store hollering for a fire truck and you begging him to stop. That ain't ADD.
No, it's not. It's
That's
not.
not ADD.
That's a good point, because you have to set boundaries for your children.
Boundaries. What? Let me tell you what I used to do. And and I don't know, they may not even remember this. What I used to do with my kids, when we go in the store, you stay with me. Don't go in here putting your hands on everything. Matter of fact, if one of them had, disobeyed before, put your hand in my pocket. You're going to walk in the store with your hand in my pocket. Don't ever let my pocket go. I used to do it all the time.
That's a good one. Yeah, I like that. That's right.
I used to do it all the time because, at 5 kids, all of them weren't with me at once, but sometimes they were. So it's like, okay, first of all, I ain't finna have no mind-blowing experience because somebody missing. That ain't finna happen. So you in the cart, you in the larger part of the buggy, your hand on one side, your hand in my pocket. So we gonna set these boundaries before we go in.
That's right. That's right.
Don't ask me for anything today. That don't mean you won't get nothing.
That's right.
We're coming in here on a mission.
That's right.
I'm coming to get this, and this. I ain't getting no Hot Wheel. I ain't getting no Bratz doll. We ain't even going down the video game aisle. We're not doing that. So do y'all understand? Yes, sir. Okay, cool. Cool. You break the boundary, there'll be some problems.
Right. That's it.
There's gonna be some problems.
But
I won't embarrass you. That's all I wanted. I wanted my kids to understand. I won't embarrass you. But if you embarrass me, you have a problem.
That's right. That's right.
I won't embarrass you because kids are fragile.
That's right.
Kids are fragile.
Yeah.
And if you embarrass them, your kids will stop trusting you to be, that protector. You have to protect not just their well-being, but you also have to protect their psyche.
They do, but I've done some bad things though, Casey.
I know.
I've been bad. I was confessing.
You finna confess. You finna wait. Hold on. Is anything not against the law? Okay. All right. Go ahead. Confess.
So, I love my children. I'm sorry saying I love my children. So, one of my children wasn't doing great in school, and so I went to the school. I was always at the school, by the way. Just went to the school. And they weren't turning in their homework. I got a note from the teacher. So I went to the school, and the teacher, I was in the classroom. She said, yep, she's not turning in her homework. And I said, I helped them do their homework. I know that they've done their homework. She said, nope, they're not turning it in. So I said, okay, hold on. So I went to her desk, and there was paper. Remember the desk that you all shoved in, whatever? I picked up the desk and I did like this in the middle of the class. My class was going on, and papers went all over the floor. And I should not have done that, huh?
You did that in the middle of class in front of all the other students?
Yeah. That was the last straw. And I was wrong. Okay, but there's 2 sides to this. That was coming. Okay. So 2 sides to this. I'm saying one thing, then I'm trying to counteract. Okay, I did it. One side, I never ever had that problem again. Never ever. But it went sideways on me. And this is how it went sideways on me. My child became so focused and obsessed with school till they started doing wonderfully in school, just wonderfully. But it became an obsession. It became obsessed. And so, so it was, that had a direct effect, but the way that I did it made it so extreme till they're like, I don't want that to happen to me again. And I didn't want them I want them to do right, but doing that was wrong. Even though it might have had a positive and negative effect, but there are better ways to do it. And I'm just letting you guys know I did that. I should have done it another way, but I was so mad. I was mad.
You didn't break
And
the
I
law. You didn't break the law. So
I
I mean,
did break the law, but there's another way to do it, and it had
yeah,
it was
absolutely.
good for a bit. But so I was wrong. I should have did another way, but it got results, but it became too much. It became too much. They couldn't have fun, and because they became so focused. So, child that I'm speaking of, I love you and forgive me for that. But parents aren't perfect, and that was not a perfect moment.
You never said you're sorry till now?
Oh yeah, yeah. No. I have, yeah, I have. But
Oh,
since I brought up the story, I wanted to do it publicly
Okay.
since people know that, yeah. I just let you guys, since I used that story, I wanted to apologize for it. But I have. Oh yeah, I have. Yeah, we talk about it now, and they talk about it like my friends thought you was crazy.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do to get the results you want.
I did, but again,
You turned out better for it.
They did, but yeah, that might have scarred them a little bit.
It's been good again, creating
Absolutely.
boundaries and saying no. Look, it's vital. It's vital. Make sure that you're creating boundaries and saying no. And if you've been letting stuff go, if you've been letting things go and you know boundaries needed to be established, but you didn't, it's okay to start today.
Yes.
Start today. Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
it's okay to start today. If it's a loved one, if it's somebody who you just been bowing down to, you know what? Let them know, hey, we're starting fresh. I've been letting this go respectfully. I don't want to cross these boundaries again. I love you, but from this day forward, we're gonna do some things differently.
Absolutely.
You know, and establish it and move forward. So again, man, let's talk with Casey and Mike. Creating boundaries and saying no. Y'all go to our YouTube channel, go to our Instagram, go to our Facebook page. And again, if you have any questions, any comments, whether you like us, whether you hate us, whatever it is, email us at letstalkcaseymike@gmail.com. It's always great because I love the interaction. I love hearing the stories and us discussing things that matter. And I hope somebody is getting something from it.
Me too. Me too. Love you, cuz. Love everybody out there. We love you guys and can't wait to see you next time. You all take care. Peace.
Peace.